Disney Channel.
What's this podcast called?
Stepsister from Planet Weird.
Podcast from Planet Weird.
Oh, Luck of the Irish. More like Freak Me in the Eyeballs.
I love this movie.
No!
I told you not to bring up prom in this
you want
episode.
to talk about prom, mama? Dramacaflama, baby. I was nominated for winner from
God damn it. Welcome, everybody. It is freaking episode 300 of this podcast.
It's freaking episode 300. Is that my best, my best with this guy?
That was your Dr. Evil?
Yeah, was that good?
No, it sounded like the comic book guy on The Simpsons.
Oh no, it's worse. It's worse than I ever wanted it to be.
Yes, so...
Why's your hat gone? Where's your head, the background?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not doing too great today of figuring out what to green screen out and what to keep.
No.
Yeah, for the patrons that have the YouTube version, you can see that I have a yellow plaid background and that I'm wearing a Clueless t-shirt. It says written and directed by Amy Heckerling. It's the end credits logo.
And you can see that we're separated because Tony, it's hot.
Yes, which we said that episode 300 is when we were going to kiss on cam. And now it'll never happen because just the AC.
Just, it's hot because global warming. And you know what? Because if Clueless has taught us anything, is that large corporations are at fault. And we need to get more active in our activism to save the planet, I believe. Because I'm trying to debate this as best as I can. I'm no share.
Mm-hmm. Is that the shirt Frankie made?
Yes, because this episode's about fashion, and the Met Gala was last night, and now I feel like I don't own any good statement pieces, and I think I need to spend money.
Anyone who went to the Met Gala and spent the money could have paid for so many people.
My new clothes.
So many people's gender affirming surgery. Let's talk about that.
Pedro Pascal has a trans sister. He's fine.
I didn't say him. I said so many people. Interesting that you would just bring him up like this.
I'm just protecting the people I love.
Yes, so today we are kicking off Mona May by talking about Clueless. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's a movie that Juan has now finally seen all the way through.
Fashion. As
of today. Yeah, and it has, I would say, probably the most iconic costumes that Mona May has
ever
designed. If you don't know who Mona May is, she's the costume designer for this film and many other beloved films, such as Romeo and Michelle, which we're covering next time, Enchanted, The Wedding Singer, the Xenon movies. Like, she's really just a fashion
She really
icon.
threw her whole cat at the wall and said, "Take it." And I said, "Yes."
Yes. And since her name is May, and this month is May.
It's gonna be... No, we don't reference that anymore. It's dead, it's tired, it's boring. It's May.
Since it's May, we thought, why don't we cover some of her iconic costumes in the movies that contain them? So obviously...
And what a perfect time to talk about costuming fashion when the Met Gala was last night. When I'm going to watch, what's that movie? The Devil Wears Prada consistently this month. When I'm also going to watch another fashion movie. When I want to watch Cruella. Basically when I want to watch an Emma Stone or Anne Hathaway marathon.
Okay. We're gonna jump into it in a minute, but first, so this episode comes out a couple days after your birthday. How do you think your birthday went?
No.
Mm-hmm.
It was a rager. People died. People went to the hospital. People fell in love. There was a wedding. The world changed. The
Mhm.
world was different. The world was never the same.
I can't believe the writers' strike is taking all the thunder away from your birthday.
I know. Come on. Okay, these writers really think they're that important, like what you put words to paper. Anyone can do that. Look, I'm speaking now. You don't think any of our listeners could take this and make it into dialogue for from some little silly sitcom? Get over yourselves, people. You get what, $700 per script per line? Oh, you're so poor. Do you own a home? Do you own a house? You're fine.
Do you want to clarify that you're joking?
I'm joking. I have no idea what the hell is even going on, but I
Yeah.
know. But hopefully, these writers get whatever the hell they want.
Exactly. I would argue that most writers don't own a home.
What?
Do you know how many people in the WGA are just renting in LA? Like,
Well, maybe let's
because
talk about the
they're
housing
not
crisis.
they're not getting paid what they're worth. TV is about to get so bad. It's about to be all reality because if
Is
this
it reality? Let's be real. Is reality TV actually
okay, but what
real?
I'm saying is it's about to be shit because all of the writers that like are actually good at what they do and like respect themselves enough to not cross the picket line and not write, like they're not writing anything right now, and the only people that are going to be approached to write are like random ass people, yeah, for
Money
bullshit reality
grabbers.
TV. Um, seasons could get shorter. I don't know. Gen Z has no idea. They did not live through the other writers' strike. But
We sure did.
if we can all remember it, the seasons were shorter. Episodes were cut.
Heroes.
Heroes,
Heroes.
yes.
Heroes.
Pushing Daisies canceled.
Oh no. Oh god, you guys love Abbott Elementary. You guys, what's another show that people really, really like right now? What's a really popular show that like probably is like going on right now? You guys like
I
Stranger
would say
Things?
Cheers.
Yeah, like Cheers. Well, guess fucking what? It's over. It's game fucking over for Cheers.
All I have to say is season 2 of Friday Night Lights. If you don't remember the writer's strike, it gave us season 2 of Friday Night Lights, where spoilers, Landry Clark killed a man for no reason. It became a murder mystery season. Makes no fucking sense.
People died.
Literally people died. I had blocked out that entire plotline until people were posting about it on Twitter last night, and I was like, oh my god. I totally forgot. I had wiped up from my memory that Landry had killed someone, and like him and Tyra, it was a whole thing, and it was
We
just
got
not.
we got Heroes. We got Hero season 2. Hero season 1 was critically acclaimed. The
Mhm.
critics loved Heroes. But look at what happened. Season 2, season 3, villains. What the hell even happened there? What the fuck was even that? And then we got season 4, and then we got Heroes Reborn, and I think it's I think because I think the Friday Night Light fans and the Heroes fans, we can all find a middle ground, and that is the writers' strikes ruin everything.
Oh,
So
for
writers,
sure.
get back to your desk and start
It's not
typing
their
away.
fault. It's all these streaming services that are like, no, we're not gonna pay you residuals for these shows. They're not reruns, so it's not the same.
What?
It has to do with like how streaming services didn't exist. So like those weren't put into like the clauses of like what you get paid for writing on those and stuff like that.
Everyone just does streaming now. It's cable. Literally, you could buy cable for cheaper at this point.
All we're saying is we support the writers that are on strike. My whole Instagram feed is just all of everyone uploading that picture of like, because I follow a lot of like screenwriters and TV writers that are just like posting that image that they're on strike, and I'm like, yes, slay. I'm there in spirit.
If you were a writer, if you did what you went to fucking school for, Sarah, you could be part of that strike. You could be making a difference.
Oh, if I did what I went to school for, I could be not working right now. Cool.
I mean,
Super cool. I could be not getting paid what I'm worth. Wow.
Yes, but you could be making history as part
Love
of the
to hear
writership.
it.
You could be to blame for the downfall of Yellow Jackets.
I could be to blame for it.
Because Yellow Jackets is going to go down in flames because of this writer's strike. They're going down. I just know it.
Down in flames like the plane that crashed.
What?
You haven't even seen the show yet.
No.
So I don't know why you're referencing it. Anyways, well, happy 300 episodes to you
Kiss.
and to the listeners. And happy birthday to you. Hope it was a good one.
We'll see.
Wow, can't believe you're 30. 28? Yeah, 28.
Basically 30 at this point. Like, fuck it, whatever.
Speaking of 28, let's talk about a movie that came out 28 years ago.
On my
Clueless.
birthday.
Clueless.
I don't care what my teachers say. I'm gonna be a supermodel.
It did not come out on your birthday. A couple months after.
What?
Sad. Clueless is a 1995 American about to say comedy. American coming of age teen comedy film
Well, it's a comedy still.
written and directed by Amy Heckerling.
Say that name tip fast.
So Amy Heckerling also directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That was her big claim to fame there. But she also directed National Lampoon's European Vacation. And
I do like Vacation.
Look Who's Talking with that baby and John Travolta and the Scientologist that just died. What's her name? Kirstie Alley?
Oh!
The one who said to Stephen Hawking, "You had a good go."
They
she
said, good
tweeted
fucking
that.
luck, bitch.
You had a good go at it. Anyways, this movie stars Alicia Silverstone. Ever heard of her?
Remember her?
Low key might be anti-vax. I still don't know.
We still don't know.
With supporting roles by Stacey Dash, Brittany Murphy, and Paul Rudd. This says it's his film debut.
That's wrong. It's wrong because Halloween, the last one in the original line, where Laurie Strode was technically Michael Myers' sister.
The sixth one, right?
Yes, that's his first movie role. Actually,
Well, the issue is he filmed that first, but Clueless came out first, so that's why you could technically say either one. Like, this is the first time people saw him, but technically he did film Halloween 6 first.
And he looks super fucking young in Halloween 6.
So who is to say?
But it's also the most hated Halloween. No offense to anyone. Even the some of the cast from the older movies were like, yeah, we fucking hate 6. Like, it's probably the worst one.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
No one did.
I saw 4.
I'll spoil it for everybody.
For sure, but I don't think I saw 5 or 6.
4 and 5 are actually really nice.
Is 6
I like
the one
them.
with, like, all the random actors, like rappers and stuff?
No, that's H2O.
No, I love H2O, but isn't 6 on the poster? It's like random ass people.
That's H2O.
No, because I love H2O, just add water.
That's Resurrection.
Okay, Resurrection is what I'm thinking of then, yeah.
Yeah, because it was H2O and then Resurrection was like that branch off line.
Yeah.
But anyways, the plot of 6 is Michael Myers ends up raping his niece and then she has a baby. And so it's Michael Myers' baby. So that's fun.
That does not sound fun. Anyways, this movie, it's loosely based on Jane Austen's 1815 novel Emma. With a modern day setting of Beverly Hills. The plot centers on a beautiful, popular, and rich high school student who
Could not be me.
who befriends a new student and decides to give her a makeover while playing a matchmaker for her teachers and examining her own existence.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
let's be
she
real.
is also.
Half
I'm
of
not
that
done.
no,
Meanwhile,
I'm not done.
Meanwhile, she is also searching for love in a nonchalant way, which leads her to fall for her ex stepbrother Josh.
Can I talk now?
Yes.
Half of those plots aren't even that long.
What?
Like the matchmaker thing, like it comes into play, but it's not like the biggest thing. It's like the inciting incident.
Okay.
So I don't know why they're making such a big deal out of it,
So
because it's
what's your
really
point?
not.
No, she also tries to play matchmaker with Ty and Elton.
Oh, true.
So
I thought this was like Midsummer Night's Dream. I
maybe
thought this
shut the
was
fuck
that.
up. No, so like weirdly Clueless, all of these like teen comedies started doing this where Emma isn't by Shakespeare,
Emma.
but like Clueless is Emma, and then we had like 10 Things I Hate About You is The Taming of the Shrew, and
What the fuck is that?
She's the Man is Midsummer Night's Dream. We have like a bunch of teen comedies that kind of did that, where they were
Like they were like, okay, cool. Shakespeare really did something.
yeah, they were like, this is loosely based, like She's the Man is Midsummer's Night's Dream, where they're like, everyone's gonna fall in love with the wrong people, but there's no donkey.
Oh
no. Yeah, so I've never read Emma.
Emma.
I saw the movie with Anya Taylor-Joy and loved, and I said, oh my god, this is just like Clueless. I said, wait do you guys know?
Didn't I do that actually for real with the movie? And you're like, yes, because it's based off of it.
With this movie?
No, there was a movie a long time ago that I don't know if we did it for the podcast, but we watched it, you know.
Probably.
And I was like, oh my god, this is like that play. And then you were like, because it's literally based off the play.
Yeah. That sounds like something that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I remember in my it was just film. It was like intro to film class with the teacher that I fucking hated. That everyone hated, and even
hated.
Even Pinholster was like, I can't do anything about it. He's tenured.
So everyone wanted him gone.
Yeah, no, everyone hated him. But it was one of those big lecture classes, and I always sat in the back, and like I never said anything in this class, and it was only those like 5 people that would always talk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like such a big lecture hall that the TA would have to run and bring you a mic. His name was Jeremy. Always wore fucking flip-flops. Wear some real shoes, bitch.
Oh my god, Jeremy. Was he cute? Well,
he
you
was
can't
like
really determine
balding.
That. But... ooh.
Not to say that that's not cute to some people.
I had a balding TA. I thought he was cute. At that point, why make it participation? Like, if you're in a lecture hall that's that massive, why the fuck would you even ask for participation and just be like, all right, everyone listen.
This is why some people hated him, is because you would get points for participation, but how are you supposed to participate when we have like 100 plus
30 million people
in this lecture hall? And like, so yeah, it would be like, oh, you don't have any points for participation. It's like, well, how would I? Like, what the fuck?
Are you really gonna ask 300 of us to participate?
But I just remember that like one time he somehow was talking about Clueless, and he said like, and Clueless is based on what? And no one said anything, and I have never said anything in this class before.
Crickets.
I'm all the way in the back, and for some reason I should have just said this in my head, but I don't know why.
You yelled it out.
I said it out loud, but no, I didn't even yell. I just said it like Emma, like loud enough for the people around me to hear, but like obviously Emma. The teacher didn't hear. Like,
you should have stood up and went, Emma.
Yeah, but he was just like, Emma. He like didn't hear me, but I was just like, why did that's the only word I uttered in this class, was me being like, cool, this is based on Emma.
Yeah. You're that I forgot again. I have no memory. Maybe if I had a better memory, I'd be better at this.
Maybe if you were 30.
Oh, dead. There's like a show or something where someone writes down the right answer on their paper, but they don't say it out loud, and someone's like, you wrote the right answer. Why didn't you say anything? He's like, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Very vague. No one knows exactly what I'm talking about, but it exists.
No, isn't that Oh, I don't know. I'm thinking of My So-Called Life, where like a character does that, but
But you know what I'm talking about? Like it's that like
because they didn't want to seem like the know-it-all, the teacher's pet.
wow. That was you. Every time they said anything, you just whispered it under your breath like a psychopath.
Anyways, well, in the class of like always talking about like Pulp Fiction and like
Ugh.
bullshit, I was just so happy to hear Clueless that I was like, Emma, it's based on Emma. Anyways,
He probably
based.
wouldn't have given you participation points. He would have been like, "You didn't raise your hand."
No, it didn't count for sure. Yeah. Anyways, directed and written by Amy Heckerling. Cinematography by Bill Pope. He like is still working. He does like the Wachowskis and Edgar Wright and Sam Raimi movies. Like he's a big deal. He did Scott Pilgrim, I remember.
Ooh, ooh, ah.
If you love the cinematography in a movie that seems like very like poppy, chances are it's Bill Pope.
Poppy.
I love you, Poppy. This movie was released July 19th, 1995.
Slay.
The budget was $12 million. What do you think the box office was?
This movie fucking smashed it. 300 million.
No, I
It
wish.
beat Avatar.
I wish. Although adjusted for inflation, I don't know how much this would be. But at the time, $56.6 million.
What year was it?
1995.
Hey Google, how much money?
56 million.
How much is $56 million in 1995 worth now?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Yeah.
Something related. You want to know
Great.
$1 billion in 1995 worth today?
Yes!
On the website in 2013dollars.com, they say $50 million in 1995 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $98,700,787.40 today. And
Okay, so it like doubled.
$700,787.40 over 28 years.
Okay, so it doubled basically.
Tripled.
I thought they said 98.
Yeah, but you said 30,000, right?
No, I said 56 million.
Oh shit, yeah. Yes, it doubled.
Clueless was filmed in California over a 40-day schedule. The film's director studied Beverly Hills high school students to understand how teenagers in the 1990s talked and learned some appropriate slang terms from them. Film received positive reviews from critics. It's considered to be one of the best teen films of all time. It's developed a cult following and has a continuing legacy. The film was followed by a spin-off television sitcom and a series
Braceface?
of books. No,
Oh.
but she was Braceface.
She was Braceface.
So they did a TV series of Clueless on ABC during the TGIF lineup. Basically everyone but Alicia Silverstone returned. So we had a new actress playing Cher. Stacey Dash, Donald Faison returned. We had a new actor playing Josh. Paul Rudd did, I think, cameo and play like a different character for like an episode or two, but he was
He just
not
got too
playing Josh.
famous. He just got too famous.
But yeah, so that had 3 seasons. Never seen it, but like I'm sure it's fun.
Sure.
Yeah, I know. I think Amy Heckerling worked on maybe the first season. I either read in a book or heard on a podcast recently. I think I was listening to a podcast with Eliza Donovan, who plays Amber, and she was saying that like Amy kind of had like because a director has more power on film, whereas a TV, the writers are really taking control, and I think she didn't like the new dynamic of like being a director. Like she didn't like that. She liked working on film more, so she wasn't.
She said no.
Yeah, so I think she left or wasn't too psyched about the show. Like
And that's valid.
and that's fine. And that's fine.
Because as a writer, you have rights.
Writer rights.
Writer rights.
But also I think a couple years ago I read a book called As If. I forget who it's by, but it's just the oral history of Clueless. Great book if you love this movie.
Yeah.
the writer interviews, you know, a lot of people that worked on the movie, cast and crew, and you really get the deets on why it's so iconic now. Anywho, I do have a couple IMDb trivia things here. Obviously, there's a ton because this is a classic movie, so I just
There's
pulled
so
a couple.
many.
So Alicia Silverstone did not have to audition.
Little nepotist.
Ooh woo ooh woo. Well, she was kept in mind. They had like other people in mind, like Reese Witherspoon was one, Gwyneth Paltrow. But at the time, Alicia Silverstone was like the Aerosmith music video girl, so people really knew her from that.
Awesome sugar on me. Is that one?
Sure. And then she was in the movie Crush, which I've never seen, but I think I have like a bootleg cut of it that I've
They
owned.
got that movie has nominations for stuff. I saw it on the IMDb.
The Crush.
Yeah, she won awards for The Crush.
Okay, but yeah, it's like a psychological thriller where like she has a crush on a guy.
Psycho.
Scary.
Thriller.
What if Cher was a stalker and was
Ooh,
dangerous? That's what that movie is.
dangerous.
This says Ben Affleck and Zac Efron.
What?
Zach Braff auditioned for the role of Josh. Sarah Michelle
Ew, could you
Gellar.
imagine Zach Braff as Josh?
No. Sarah Michelle Gellar was offered the role of Amber, but turned it down due to her commitments because she was on All My Children at the time. This was pre-Buffy, All My Children.
Listen,
Children,
children.
all of them. And then Paul Rudd auditioned for Murray, Christian, and Elton. You know, sometimes they have you read for different parts and stuff. He said that he thought Murray, which is Donald Faison's character, was a white guy trying to act like
Trying to act black.
Yeah, so he was like that was his angle there. But obviously,
How
he ended up
very.
winning.
I mean, just to quote another cult classic, how very, but
Mhm.
like, how very like 90s, 2000s to be like, oh, this is a white guy trying to like.
Well, it
be,
makes sense. I mean, you look at Can't Hardly Wait, where Seth Green's character is very much that, like he's talking like he's black the whole time, and even his friends.
Yeah,
like-
or like Jack Black in I Know What You.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still know what you did.
Yeah, like that was very much a trope, and because those people did exist, we know that those white boys
did.
Yeah,
Did.
and still do, but like especially 90s.
Still do, Marianne. Still do.
Especially then, though. Just like thinking that they were the shit and they were.
Listen, because you have black friends
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can appropriate a culture and pretend that you are black.
Well, I love in Can't Hardly Wait. I love that it gets called out because like Seth Green's friends go up like, hey, and like say the N-word, like, what up, my, like, to like some black people at the party, and then they run away and they go beat them up. I love that because they're like, no, you're not doing this.
I love that.
Anyways, other trivia. While filming, Paul Rudd was mugged and had his backpack stolen, which held his script for the movie.
Oh no, he got leaked.
At one point, Ty insults Cher by calling her a virgin who can't drive. Brittany Murphy later confessed that at the time of filming, she actually was a virgin who couldn't drive.
I remember that because remember when we told each other in college, oh, I don't know how to drive. We were both like,
Okay.
and we knew, and we told each other the Brittany Murphy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cute.
Cher's masseuse is actually played by Mona May, the film's costume designer. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, girl, May.
Hey, girl, May. Jen Chaney, that's the person who wrote the book that I read. Because it says, according to the book, many people think the costuming budget must have been high for the film, but it was actually quite modest for a big blockbuster film. Mona May wanted the girls to look like mall rats, not models, so her 63 outfit changes only cost $200,000. The biggest costume expense was the plaid Jean Paul Gaultier outfit Alicia Silverstone wears in the opening scenes, an outfit that she got to keep along with all her outfits from the film, which, as she told Entertainment Weekly magazine, she gave away to charity.
Okay, so do you want to pronounce Jean-Paul Gaultier again?
No. I'm
Put
just
some respect to his fucking name.
Do you know who that is?
He's a designer.
Okay.
I just know the name. I know the name Jean-Paul Gaultier.
I don't. I know Gautier, somebody I used to know.
Well, isn't he somebody we all used to know? May he rest in peace. I don't know. He's not dead, but I don't know where he's at.
So yeah, the plaid outfit, I think originally Mona May wanted to do a blue outfit, and then she's like, no, that's not working. She tried red, but it looked too Christmassy. Eventually they landed on yellow because she was like, this makes it pop, this makes it work. And it's pretty much the most iconic costume from this whole movie.
Oh,
the yellow plaid
for
outfit.
sure.
Yes. And obviously, it's Iggy Azalea, who exists, did the music video Fancy, where she like wore these outfits, and it was an homage to Clueless. They just did the Super Bowl commercial where Alicia Silverstone was wearing this again. It was her and Eliza Donovan as Amber.
And then underneath her jacket, she said,
I'm Batgirl.
oh, yes.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, don't vaccinate.
Oh, okay.
It's just her at a anti-vax rally going, I'm just trying to see what's up. I'm just trying to see what's going down here.
No, that's what's her face. What's her name?
Wait, she's not the same. She's not that person?
No, we were talking about Evangeline Lilly
Oh, yes.
from the other night. Paul Rudd's Ant-Man co-star.
Who gave him COVID?
Who maybe did. I know what you're wondering about. I know you're wondering about Roger Ebert. He gave the film 3.5 out of 4 stars. There's no quote from him on here, but
Slay. 3.5 out of 4. Perfect.
Clueless is considered to have like one of the best soundtracks in movie history.
And I'm young.
We are young. We were free.
Oh, that's also in here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I was singing Supermodel.
Oh, okay. So there's songs on the soundtrack that aren't in the movie and vice versa. So like the soundtrack has Kids in America, All the Young Dudes, an acoustic version of Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead, a Beastie Boys song, Mighty Mighty Bosstones, Rollin' with the Homies by Coolio, Supermodel by Jill Sabule. But there's songs in the movie that aren't on this soundtrack.
Slay.
But still very iconic, and we will talk about those songs as they appear because, well, I guess I should ask your history first before we dive into the opening.
I think I had seen it on TV, maybe like ABC Family, but I never sat through it. But this is my first time sitting down, being conscious and aware. I was present in the moment, and I was learning.
Okay. I saw this for the first time, I think, in high school. I was really getting into like teen comedies, either like 10 Things I Hate About You, or like I think I would just like find there would be always those like Tumblrs. Remember those like F yeah Tumblrs?
Yeah.
F yeah teen movies, F yeah 80s movies type stuff. So I would watch like, that's how I learned about like Heathers, and I watched all the John Hughes movies obviously growing up. But at one point, my mom was just like, oh, I think you'd really like Clueless.
And you said, what the fuck is even that? And
then I must have watched it on TV for the first time because it's always on TV. And she was right. I loved it. Cher Horowitz is one of my favorite characters of all time. And you might think, doesn't that mean Emma's one of your favorite characters? No.
Emma!
Different. But yeah, so I really fell in love with the movie. It has become one of my favorites of all time. I do have, I don't know that I'll ever have my own place to put this up, but I have a cool like print of like it's like a movie poster, but it's like a print version of some artwork, and it looks really cool. It's like Cher with her gum, and it's cool. It's cool.
Okay. Oh, you mean when she's debating?
No, I'll post a picture on Patreon because
Okay.
I'm not gonna dig it out and unroll it, but I'm gonna Google and see if I can find the the art online, then I can just post that.
Now, which one will be faster?
True. But anyways, this movie starts out with kids in America.
Kids in America. Have you ever heard of that country? And I literally was like, what kind of fucking commercial ass? What is this? Is this a preview? And then she literally goes, I bet you thought this was an Oxima commercial, huh?
Mm-hmm. One thing, this watch, like having to take all these notes, I realized the first 10 minutes,
It's
20
such a
minutes,
sleigh.
it all moves so quickly.
Yes.
I was like, but it works. Like I've never thought about it as it like being so quickly paced, but I was like, we're 3 minutes in and we've had like 5 different song changes.
Oh, yeah.
It was wild. But yeah, so we have the Kids in America montage. So it's LA.
You don't have an eating disorder? Get one, bitch.
Get one, bitch. We have Cher narrating as she is doing her little gadgets and gizmos with her closet as David Bowie is playing.
Oh my god, yes, her like fashion sorry, I'm picking at something on my forehead. I should stop. Her little fashion computer where she's like, I'm like every normal girl. Like, bitch, you literally have an outfit program. Like, shut up. That's so good.
Mm-hmm. And she's just narrating. She's like, I live here with my dad. He's a lawyer.
He's a litigator.
Lucy, our maid. She's like, I take care of my dad. Later on, she obviously mentions that her mom died when she was really young. So she's
And they have that campy ass portrait of her.
yeah, yeah. So she's like the caretaker. They mention her stepbrother Josh, and we'll get more on him in a little bit. Cher picks
her
up
ex-stepbrother,
Cher
who she just
up,
refers to as her ex.
Yeah, Cher picks up her best friend Dion. They both are named after singers
Really old,
that now do infomercials.
Yeah, shit, the really old celebrities that now do infomercials. I think that was a really funny bit. But I also love when she goes, "We're friends because we both know what it's like to have people be jealous of us."
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then this is, this outfit that Stacey Dash is wearing is very iconic. This weird hat, which I think Cher says like she mentions Dr. Seuss, and she's like, whatever.
But we also get the iconic like walking down, explaining like everybody's business, and then her going, "Ew, get off of me!"
Okay, I found it. It's this. I have this as a great.
What the hell is even that?
I have this as a print.
Okay, wow.
Yes. So
I have this, and what is that?
Maybe someday I can hang that up. But and by the way, it's kind of the elephant in the room of that Stacey Dash has turned into like a very conservative right-wing person, which is a damn shame. Because she really was a slay in this movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Stacey Dash has become like Fox News Republican type person.
No.
We do not love that.
It's okay. I was like, I haven't seen her in anything, so her career is probably dead.
Yeah, they arrive at school and we meet Murray, Dee's boyfriend, and we get their dynamic immediately.
Of like public disputes.
Mm-hmm.
They love fighting.
Everyone knows they're a couple. Yeah, everyone knows like they fight every day probably because we have the "you've been cheating behind my back" scene.
What is this fake? When she pulls out that fucking nasty ass piece of hair, I thought that was so funny.
And Cher says she won't date a high school boy. She says, "Look around, look at these idiots.
Who wants this?"
And she's not wrong. We have Mr. Hall's debate class,
Oh,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, which is so fucked up that she is not getting an A in that class because her debates, although very non-factual, are very like true.
It takes a while for her to explain to get to the root of it, but like what she's saying is true. It's relatable. Not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. She's correct.
Like the fact that she goes, yeah, I had this party once where people showed up uninvited, but you know what I did? I solved the problem. I gave everyone food. Everyone got drink.
When there was, a lot of talk about like immigration, like a couple years ago, like a lot of people would post this, or these would be like signs at like protests of it does
I
not say
remember. I remember on
RSVP on the
Tumblr that were like,
schedule.
yeah,
Because it's true.
she's right.
It's true. And Amber says, hello. What is she even talking about?
She's mad. When she goes, I don't think I can do my assignment if she's not doing her assignment. Like, what's there to debate? Like, Amber, you're such a bitch. You know you didn't do the assignment.
Also, Cher, instead of Haitians, she says Haitians, which is just how Alicia Silverstone read it. She just thought that's how it was pronounced. So Amy Heckerling left it in. She was like, no one correct her. No
They
one
said,
tell her.
let her say it. Just let her say it.
Nobody tell her. We kind of get introduced to Elton and Travis.
This like group of like B characters.
Yeah, they'll come into play later.
The boy.
Mr. Hall hands out report cards. Travis tries to jump.
He's giving it his all.
Please hold all suicide attempts till the end of class.
I love Travis. Probably one of my favorite characters.
Yes. Yeah, Breckenmeyer in so many 90s and 2000s movies. I believe he showed up to audition with his hair. That was just his hair.
Perfect.
So Cher gets a C on her report card, and that simply won't do, so she's going to have to figure that out. We have the cell phone hallway scene with Cher and Dion talking on their cell phones next to each other.
Iconic
Classic.
That's and like then, almost when I was walking down the hallway in school talking on my phone, and I was like, where the fuck is my phone? Like almost about to have a panic attack, and then I realized I was on it.
Okay.
Not the same, but
at home, Josh has returned. We quickly get that dynamic of Josh and Cher teasing each other.
Flirting.
Yeah, it is weird that he like grabs her stomach.
I thought it was her tit.
I'm pretty sure he grabs like her stomach down here and says like, "Oh, you're filling out a little bit."
I literally thought it was her boob.
That's just either way, it's weird. It's like what they are very touchy. And by the way, because like there's a lot of, people are like, what? Why would they end up together, ex-step siblings and everything? I remember reading in the As If book that Amy Heckerling, I think it was her grandparents or maybe great grandparents, that like they were ex-step siblings and they got married. Like that's just
listen.
That was real for her. So she's like, I didn't think it was that weird. Like that's how my grandparents.
If there's no biomatter that is shared between them, it's party. It's full throttle. Go for it. If there's no relation there,
all the Life with Derek fans are screaming. That's what I didn't get. Like people that like shipped Derek and Casey on Life with Derek.
But like they're not genetically siblings.
Just say you ship them. Damn.
No, okay, I don't, because if their parents are still together, then it's nasty.
That's just weird.
It's a little funny. But if they're not together, go for it. Why not? They're just people.
The thing is we have never seen their dynamic before, so we don't know how close they were. It's just interesting. Yeah. Anyways, they eat dinner. We have Dad asking like, "Oh, you want to be a corporate lawyer, Josh?" And we see that he's like an environmental like do-gooder type.
Mm-hmm.
Actually cares about things. Good for Josh. Cher says her report card is not ready yet, which leads us to the montage of Cher trying to get her grades upped by saying men are evil to Miss Stoger and Miss Stevens. No, like, and they all are.
Doesn't she say? And I told Miss Stoger that a man broke me.
Yeah. Well, because the joke is that Miss Stoger is most likely lesbian.
Later on, when she goes, and in the grand tradition of women in physical education, she might be same-sex orientated, and I just wrote, what an ally.
Yeah, so that's kind of a joke that she's most likely a lesbian. We don't really know. And then Miss Geist, she offers to like help volunteer for some stuff. So everyone kind of gives her some leeway, except for Mr. Hall,
because he is sexless. Because
he is at the Haunted Mansion.
Because he's a man trapped in a building because he's a ghost.
At the mall, we have Cher and Dion shopping. One of my favorite parts of the movie is when they're by the hat rack. Cher goes out of frame, clearly puts on a hat, and then walks into frame with the big hat on. When she goes, D, that's it. When she realizes, like, we need to make Mr. All happy, and that's how I'm going to get my grade fixed. But it's just so great of popping into frame with a ridiculous hat.
Like, there are
Out
so
of
many
nowhere.
good bits like that here where it's like, I was like, this is like a full comedy.
Yeah.
Like, if it didn't get serious, this is a full ass comedy. So good. Like, almost like airplane level, like, little bits.
So they realize that he needs a boink fest, is what how they word it. So they
But
say,
Sarah, the eligible bachelorettes at the school are impossible because the math teachers are married somehow. Ooh, Snickers.
ooh, a Snickers. Okay, me. Ooh, a Snickers. So they realize Miss Geist, she's available. She needs a little bit of work, but we could do it. We could
They
fix
read her. I love when they write her that lovely poem and she goes, wow, didn't Shakespeare, isn't that, like, she was like, it's one of the greatest quotes. And she's like, oh, where's it from? And she goes, Cliff Notes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then, Miss Geist, she reads that letter from the secret admirer. By the way, Miss Geist, played by Twink Kaplan, who is just like Amy Heckerling's like best friend producer.
Just a bestie.
Just a bestie, but like not necessarily an actor. I don't know if she's even like acted in other stuff, but like she was mainly Amy Heckerling's like right hand person. We have Travis winning most tardies, giving his little speech, thanking the
Slay.
McDonald's
The
English
McMuffin people.
And Cher is able to get out of one of her tardies by saying that she was surfing the crimson wave. I've said that before.
I love when the teacher goes, I'm assuming you mean women's troubles.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and so she's like, oh, Miss Geist was right when she said you're the only one here with any intelligence. And so she's planting that seed.
She is a master manipulator. Like, if she played her cards right, she could manipulate everyone.
She is slaying. At home, we have Dad getting upset that Cher has 3 outstanding tickets, even though she has no license. And so he says she cannot go anywhere without a licensed driver.
She goes, well, she has
permit.
3. She has 1 ticket, but 3 notices. And she's like, I never got the first one. And then he goes, the ticket is the first one.
Mm-hmm. So Cher needs a licensed driver to drive around with. So she asks Josh. And while they're out driving, Josh calls her selfish. And then this is kind of her motivation to be like, okay,
I'm going to change.
I'm going to do things for other people. This is
for
also
others?
When they're giving Mr. Hall the coffee to share with Miss Geist. This also is where she does say the R slur. It's one of the only things that is aging poorly in this movie.
Yeah, I was like, she said that. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
And then I was like, okay, 90s movie, got it.
Yeah. You know that meme of Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad in the car screaming?
Yeah.
And people always use it as like, no, don't do that, no. That's what I wrote. I said, no, Cher, not the R slur, no. That's how I felt.
Listen, I was fully ready for the F slur to drop.
No, and we'll talk about that of how well this movie treats its queer character.
God bless. Or characters.
Not including the PE teacher.
The PE teacher, no, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was like, they're right.
No, yeah, I'm saying not including her. Like, she's fine on her own, but like, yeah, I meant mostly Christian, but
yeah.
And we'll talk about that. So we have a montage of Mr. Hall and Miss Geist starting to date and becoming nicer in class.
The quick makeovers that they do, where they're like, "Oh my god, I love this, and they're just like tearing her apart.
Mm-hmm. And she goes, "You girls are so sweet."
You girls keep me young.
They were tearing her apart. So the students love Cher for it. They're like, yes, queen.
Yes. Yes, queen. Yes, queen.
Her C plus is changed to an A minus, and her dad is thrilled that she was able to change that. That's the lawyer in her.
He goes, you were able to argue all your grades? And she goes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I love you. I love this, even though what does he say? These grades are so great.
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud than if they
Even,
were based on actual merit or something.
yeah.
So Cher wants to do more good deeds. She's like, "Ooh, I'm feeling good. I
She's
love
getting her
this."
Galinda. This is her Galinda moment.
So at PE, we have everyone lined up to play tennis, Squidward tennis balls.
I love the bits of just like everyone having a nose job.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's LA.
It's LA. Don't have a nose job, get one, bitch. We had the moment where Amber says, "My plastic surgeon doesn't want me doing any activity where balls fly at my nose."
I guess your social life is
Yeah,
is that a
Dion
depiction?
says, "There goes your social life," which I believe is Stacey Dash's favorite line in the movie. And then we have the principal coming to introduce Ty, the new girl. By the way, the principal is played by the real life Mr. Hall that Amy Heckerling, like she had a teacher named Mr. Hall growing up, and that's who Wallace Shawn's character is based on. Just a fun little thing that she had him come in and be the principal.
Cute.
Yes. So Cher is like, "Oh my god, we should help this new girl. Look at her. Look at her. She's a mess."
well, there's a couple things now. When they invite her over and they're like, "Come hang with us," and I love this bit because it's so smart. As she goes, they're talking right, and she goes, "I love it here. Do you guys have like any herbal? Like, I thought I was gonna need some like herbal therapy," and she
Herbal
goes,
refreshment.
"Yeah, herbal refreshment."
I could use a herbal refreshment.
Because they're like, "How's California going?" And she's like, yeah, I could use an herbal refreshment. And they go, "Oh, well, we don't have any tea, but we have Coke here." And she goes, "Y'all have Coke?" No. She goes, "No, yeah, you guys have Coke?"
No shit, you guys got Coke here? Well, of course, this is
It's
America.
America.
I know, but I love Dion just being like, "Well, we don't have any tea."
Like
That would be like me, like not thinking about weed at all. I'd just be like, "Okay, well, like herbal tea, like we don't have any, but like we have like your soda, your Gatorade at the cafeteria."
It's such a good bit. But then as I'm looking down, because I wrote all of this down, I don't know why I didn't read it. We don't, but I wrote, we don't have any tea, but we have Coke. No shit, you guys have cock here.
Why would you write cock?
Because every time I write Coke, I always spell it as cock because I don't know how to spell Coke.
It's written on the on the soda. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm fully aware where it's written.
Okay, but yes, and Ty, played by Brittany Murphy, may she rest in peace. One of the greatest tragedies, honestly, of our generation was.
Honestly, truly, I was so devastated. Like, I've never felt pain over the loss of a celebrity, but when she died, I was like, okay, cool, I'm sad.
So Cher and Dion show Ty around. They introduce her to all the little groups, the TV station kids, the Persian Mafia, the Popular Boys. Which group are you?
Which group am I? I am, well, I'm not the TV people because it's very LA to have like a group of just like TV people.
Well, no, but that would have been me because I was like,
You were in that group.
the announcements type shit. Yeah.
That were you. If you were to be click typecasted, that would be you. I hate to say that I would be with the what are they called? The lawn
Persian
people.
Mafia.
Yeah, you can't be in
Lodies?
you can't be with them unless you own a BMW.
The Lodies, the stoners.
I would hate to lump myself into there because I never really was.
No,
in
you
high
would
school.
probably be like the band. They just don't mention the band in here, but I'm sure that they have like.
It's either the art kids or
marching
the
band.
band kids. Yeah, I'd be one of those guys.
Yeah. Also, we have Murray who comes up and says he calls Dion woman, and she's like, "What did I tell you about calling me woman?" And then he drops this line where he sounds so smart and says, "Street slang is an increasingly valid form of expression. Most of the feminine pronouns do have mocking, but not necessarily misogynistic undertone. And then Ty says, "Oh my God, you guys talk really smart here." And then Cher goes, "Well, this is a really good school," which I always love.
This first half of the movie is so full of those little lines that I think is so amazing.
But I also just love that Murray, you can see throughout the movie that it's like he doesn't disrespect Dion.
No, he
does
like
have
has full
for her.
respect, full love for her. Like he cares
Yeah.
for her genuinely. He
And
just he does that thing.
That's one of those moments that's like, oh, he's just saying it because it's slang. He's not like an alpha. He's not one of those like Andrew Tate worshippers.
No, yeah, exactly.
Who's like, women suck. Women
Yeah.
are beta.
What?
Women are beta fish.
What?
Ty meets Travis in the lunch line and they hit it off. They're talking about Marvin the Martian.
Oh my God! All her little Marvin drawings. I
Mhm.
said, this is just Brittany Murphy being Brittany Murphy. She's not acting. She's just genuinely being like, and look at what I did.
There's another one there. So she says that she
She met a guy in the line.
met Travis.
I met a really nice. No, I can't do her.
What?
accent.
What was
I don't know. I
that?
just
Was
went
Matilda.
I just went to fucking 3 different accents. I flipped.
But she mentions like, oh, he offered weed. Basically, she says a different word for it, but I love Cher's like, are you talking about drugs?
He offered me a smoke.
Yeah, smoke. Are you talking about drugs? So Cher and Dion basically say that no self-respecting girl dates the Lodies at the school because no, you can't be fried all day.
I also love when she goes, I've never had straight friends before, and they just both look at each other and keep like they go like, what the fuck? And they just keep smiling because they don't understand that she meant like straight edge.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, but I think it's so funny.
Yeah, like not. Yeah, it's like smoking.
It's so good. It's so good.
But also, I love this. There's the line where Cher says, "Ty, how old are you?" She says, "I'll be 16 in May." And then Cher says, "Well, my birthday's in April, and as someone older," like so seriously, like okay.
It's great.
Then we have Cher. Oh wait, hold on. First, we have the makeover montage where supermodel by lesbian icon Jill Subbugle plays.
Iconic.
I'm gonna be a supermodel.
Immediately followed by one of the craziest lines that I think is so funny. Because at that point, Ty is joining them for dinner, but then the dad walks into frame and he goes, and then Cher goes, "Hi, Daddy, this is my friend."
Get out of my
Hi.
chair. One of my favorite lines in the movie.
Gets a chance to fucking finish. Get out of my chair. No. Yeah, get out of my... Just not who are you. Just
no, I wrote it
out.
down too. Get out of my chair. One of my favorite lines in the movie. Just immediately. Oh, sorry. Jill Subbugle was bisexual. I just want to...
Well...
We don't want to erase bi people.
Bi people erasure. Just go be a marker. Something permanent. You can't be erased.
Again, do you want to say you're joking? But yeah, so hold on, that's we don't have the dinner scene yet because first we have
really?
First we have Cher telling Josh that she's gonna make Ty's life better, and he's like basically saying like it's all just for you, like how is this gonna help, blah blah blah. We have Brittany Murphy singing the Mentos theme song. Is
this when she goes, what's that word that she tells her to use?
I hope not sporadically.
Yes. Honestly, that's such a good life lesson though. Like learn a word a day, like something like a new word, and then try to use it just in a sentence on that day. Like that's a great
I'm
way
reading Fit or Fat. My book is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Yeah, so we have that scene, and then we have Cher and Dee wanting to set Ty up with Elton. They're like, "Ooh, idea, Elton." So we have that photo scene where Cher's taking photos of the group. And
I love when Cher goes, she's like one of those Botticelli girls, and I'm like, these fucking references are insane.
Cher knows her stuff.
Like Cher is so smart,
She knows her artists.
but also to quote, but I think it's so funny that she does look like a Botticelli girl too.
By the way, we have in this little group of like Amber, Elton, everyone that she's taking a picture of, we have Summer, who I don't know that actor's name, but she's also in like Bring It On, and she was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
She's the Asian friend, right?
Yes, she's the Asian friend, but she was like around in the 90s and 2000s. Love her. She was in the episode of Buffy The Wish, which is when we get the evil Willow, Xander. We have the vamp versions of them.
Ooh.
Where the one where Buffy, like, it's like if Buffy never came to town when Cordelia wishes that. Iconic episode, but like I always see her in this and Bring It On. I'm always like, go her. I don't know, like if she kept acting or stopped or what, but like she was a slay. So shout out to her.
She had her moment.
She had her moment. So Elton asked for a copy of a photo of Ty that Cher takes. So they're like, oh, it's working.
Must like her.
It's working. And then we have the dinner scene. Get out of my chair.
It's working.
And Dee calls and says that Ty's picture is hanging in Elton's locker. So they're like, oh my God, it's on. It's happening.
It's game over. Yeah.
So they're like, okay, we are going to go to this Valley party where they're on their way. And we have Dee and Murray arguing over the directions. This was pre-GPS.
They had a map.
They had their Thomas guide, which is their map of LA. Travis, when they get there, Travis gives Cher a joint after ruining her satin shoes. Sad.
So sad.
This scene is always edited out on TV, like the fact that
they smoke a blunt.
Yeah, like I remember like watching the DVD version for the first time, being like, oh, because they cut a lot of stuff out. They cut out Brittany Murphy singing the Mentos song, like just stuff for time.
Mm-hmm.
They cut out Travis when he gives his bong to Cher at the end to donate it, and they cut out her smoking the joint.
I've never understand why they cut it for time. Like, just cut the commercials. Cut one commercial.
They have to make money. But they play Suck and Blow with the card, which is disgusting.
I hate
the germs.
Suck and Blow, I think, is a funny game. I would never play it. But like, I hate Elton. I hate him so much. And there's a reason to hate him.
And you're supposed to. Because he's a creep.
Because he's nasty.
A rich creep who thinks he's better than everyone.
Do you know who my dad is?
Yes. We have the scene where Murray is shaving his head and Dion is freaking out.
She's pissed.
So he only ends up shaving like the middle portion of it, and he wears a hat the rest of the movie.
Wait, what? Never caught that.
Yeah, like his sides are still there. You can see under his hat later. And then in like the continuity pics that they would take for costumes and hair and makeup and everything, there's a picture of Donald Faison where he's like bald in the middle but has the hair on the sides.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. We have the rollin' with the homies scene where Ty gets hit by a shoe. It's giving Dick Cheney.
Good for him for getting hit by that shoe. He should have gotten hit with more.
And then Travis tries to help, but Cher is shooing him away. She asked Elton for help. Poor her, when she sits up and hits the lamp too. Poor girl, hitting her head on everything.
She's just having. I love when she goes. You have to keep her. You have to keep her away. She might have a concussion. Ask her questions. What's 7-10-7? Stuff that she would know.
Stuff she knows. We have Dad calling and saying, "Where are you? Be home in 20 minutes." And she's like, "It's gonna take longer than that." He says, "Everywhere in LA takes 20 minutes." Because she lives over, like Hollywood, Beverly Hills area.
She lives over Sunset, I think is what they said.
Yes, and this party is in Sun Valley. So to give you context, like Sun Valley is where Brandy lived.
And where the circus liquor is.
Yeah, so that's we drove by Circus Liquor, which is featured in the movie. But that's why when Brandy first told me that she like that was where her apartment was in Sun Valley, I was like, oh, like Clueless, like that's where the party is. They say Sun Valley.
Sun Valley.
So yeah, it is a bit of a trek to get down there.
I also love when they're debating how to get home, because Brittany Murphy at that point, Ty and Cher need to leave. It's like Elton
Summer.
and Summer like fighting who's gonna take who. But I love that when Ty gets in the car with Summer, she's just holding that fucking lawn ornament still lit up.
Because for some reason Summer is taking that snowman home, which I think I always thought that the Christmas decorations were just because like whoever threw this party just wanted to have some decorations. But it is Christmas because when Josh drops off Heather, there's Christmas lights as well. So this Clueless is a Christmas movie, let's be real.
Let's put it out there.
But yes, so Elton ends up taking Cher home, and on the way home, he starts hitting on her. And
like, Elton, get a grip, get a life, and get over it. She does not want you.
Yes,
literally every time you approach her, she goes, ew.
She's very confused. She thought that he was into Ty, and he's like, why would I go with Ty? Don't you know who my father is? She says the line, I'm having a Twin Peaks experience, which I love. But he's harassing her for sure. Like, she keeps saying no, and
Twin Peaks the movie or Twin Peaks the show? Because I've only seen one.
Either way, it's just she just means like this is weird. Like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he's for sure harassing her. She keeps saying no. He keeps trying to throw himself on her. So I love later when she says that she was sexually harassed.
Good for her recognizing it.
Because when he leaves her there at the Circus Liquor, she's like sexually harassed, stranded. She's saying all these things. It's like, you're right. Like, I love that she didn't downplay it. She's like, that was harassment. So she is held up at gunpoint by, honestly, low-key a kind robber.
Low-key House. This is House.
Low-key Hugh Laurie. He tells her to get on the ground. She said, this is an Alaya. And then I love her going, she gets down on the ground.
Getting down.
And then, but he says, okay, count to 30, or you count to 100. Thank you. And just runs away. So she calls Josh from the payphone, asks him to pick her up, even though he's with his girlfriend as well. She doesn't say where she is. She just says Sun Valley. So I don't know how
he finds her.
He found her. So they're in the car, and we have that moment when Heather is quoting Hamlet, where she says, "To thine own self be true," and Cher says,
"That's not Hamlet."
Hamlet didn't say that. And Heather's like, I think I know Hamlet. And she's like, well, I know Mel Gibson, and he didn't fucking say that, bitch.
Oh,
she didn't say the cuss word.
So her thing is she knows these things because of, like, movies?
Because there was the movie version of Hamlet with Mel Gibson. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
So that's why she's like, no, he wasn't the one to say that. Polonius was. And Josh kind of gets a kick out of that, the fact that, like, Cher does know stuff, and Heather clearly is getting mad about that. They drop off Heather at her dorm.
She's realizing she's jealous and she wants a boyfriend.
And then we have Ty crying over Elton in the locker room. And they decide to blow off 7th and 8th period. That's a lot. And
go have a calorie fest.
A lot of periods.
That's just 2.
But no, I'm saying like 7th and 8th. My school went to 6.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, a 7th, maybe. Or like, you would have 7 if you had like a hour.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is atrocious. Like, why would you want to get to school at before 7 a.m. to have a class? Like, just fucking go later. Stay later.
Because you would get it out of your schedule later. I took some A hours.
A hours are nasty. I had band.
Yeah. Anyways, we have the moment when we find out Cher is a virgin. Ty cries over the Rollin' with the Homie song and slams her head on the table.
And she goes, Ty, girl. Oh, no. She goes, it's okay. Oh, my God, stop. Like, yeah. Dion just, like, in shock.
So Cher realizes she needs to find a new guy for Ty. And in comes Christian, the new kid.
He's gay.
He is gay.
Happy Death Day. You're gay.
You are gay. There's actually, I believe, when he comes in, he's like leaning against the doorway, and there's a poster that says "Road to Nowhere," which is like a reference to like Cher's looking for like a guy, but like he's gay. Like it's gonna lead nowhere.
That's funny.
Yes, and there's little hints that he's gay before Cher eventually realizes that he's reading.
When he goes, "I
William
love
S.
your stumpies" or whatever the hell the shoes are.
He says "nice stems,"
Oh yes,
which means her legs.
Oh,
Her stumpies.
I thought that was a brand new shoes.
I love your stumpies. No, and then he's reading William S. Burroughs, who was said to have like maybe been gay or something. I don't fucking know. I think he was also racist, so I didn't really look into him too much. And then the movies he brings over Some Like It Hot, which is men cross-dressing, and then Sporadicus
Very gay.
has a scene of a man seducing another man. She could pick up on things, but she does not.
She chooses not to see it.
Yes, so Cher wants him for herself, and she starts sending herself gifts to look desirable. So Christian asks her if she knows of any parties this weekend.
He never asked her out.
No, he just says like, "Hey, I was wondering if you knew of any parties, any clam bakes," because he talks like he's in the movie Swingers.
Because he's part of the fucking rat pack, as the dad calls him.
Mm-hmm. So the night of the party, Christian arrives, and Josh and Dad immediately don't like him. Josh watches.
He just walks into the house.
Yeah, Josh watches as Cher walks downstairs. That's like our first hint that like he might be into her. He is like, "I should go to the party, right? Like to watch over her," to the dad, and he's like, "I don't fucking care, dude."
But I love how he's smiling because I think he knows that Josh likes her.
Yeah. But I just love him being like, "Just go. Just stop."
But he smiles. I think that's the good part is like the dad.
No,
is
I
like,
know,
yes,
but I
go,
just
go,
love that
go.
he's just like, "Just stop this. Just leave.
Yes.
I don't need your help. Just get the fuck out of here." So at the party, we have the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, ska.
Iconic.
A ska band playing this party. Incredible. Ty falls down the stairs, and she also gets bummed when she sees Elton and Amber dancing. Tough day for her. We have Josh dancing with her to help her not feel left out.
We
Josh,
have Christian flirting with
the bartender. And Josh picking up on what Cher isn't, which is that he's dancing with another man, low key.
He's gay.
Like Cher is also there, but like he's dancing with this guy.
Yes. Also, not as attractive as the bartender. Have some standards, Christian.
Josh drives the girls home because Christian wants to go party more, even though it's so late at night.
Because gays love to party.
They bring Dad and his lawyers, his crew, some food.
Some takeout munchies.
More looking out for him. More sibling flirting while they're watching
Ren and Stimpy.
Some Ren and Stimpy.
I love when she goes, "Daddy, no," to the sandwich.
Mm-hmm. You know you can't have that. But yeah, more. This is where we do get the dynamic of like, Josh, you're not my brother, because he's like, says he's like a brother type, and she's like, "No, you're not my brother." She goes,
"No, cut that shit out."
She said, "No, if we fall in love by the end of this movie, it will be okay."
Yes. She said, "Don't say that because then it's nasty."
Yes. Christian calls Cher for a videotape type date to watch some movies with a reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey with the phone call there.
Mm-hmm.
So Cher is preparing. She's always have something baking. She's doing her makeup. Got that red dress.
We have to figure out a light concept.
Yes. She thinks she's gonna have sex tonight.
She's gonna fucking bet boned. Yes.
Yes. So when he shows up, they're watching Some Like It Hot and Sporadicus. I love her falling off the bed when she's trying to
get flirty.
Yes. And Christian is picking up on it and makes it clear because he says, I actually am getting tired. I should go. And he leaves and says, we're friends, right? And then the iconic freeway scene where Murray reveals to Dee and Cher, who both did not know, that Christian is gay.
He's a cake boy.
He's a disco dancing, Oscar Wilde reading, Streisand ticket holding friend of Dorothy,
I love that whole thing.
which is a great line. Yeah, and I guess we could talk about it here that one of the best parts of this movie to me is that like the queerness is never played for a joke. It's never them bullying, it's never them punching down. It's just like
The only
he's-
ever time they
he's
laugh is him laughing at Cher and Dion for not picking it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the joke of they're too stupid because like Murray's obviously cool with it, and he doesn't say. They could have Amy Heckerling could have written it where like there's an F slur, which
Mhm.
probably would have been more accurate to the '90s at that time. But I like that they made it so like no, everyone's very accepting of it. It is LA, but like they're all accepting of it. Later on, Cher like appreciates him as a friend, and his
She goes, yeah, he
interests and
wants
art and
everything to be
everything.
beautiful and smart.
Yeah, so I always love that. It feels very progressive for the '90s for sure.
I want to get a shirt that says Cake Boy on it.
Okay. Cher and Christian go to the mall, so now they're just hanging out as besties. We have the guys holding Ty off the railing, where Christian
She
saves
almost
her.
died.
Who the fuck does that?
Crazy ass straight man.
Also, we didn't mention that the freeway scene is one of the most iconic scenes, and that's how it felt when I went on the freeway accidentally with you that one time.
Just the screaming and the terrible driving. Incredible.
And Cher yelling, "Shut up!" and
Yeah.
everyone honking. That old lady flipping them off, the bikers.
Everyone's a bad driver because yeah, they got on the highway and they're kind of driving really slow, but everyone else just go around.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I do get mad when there's people going like 45 on the highway. I'm like, get the
Well,
fuck
that's
out.
not safe. You shouldn't
No,
be
that's
going
dangerous.
45 on the highway. So anyways, so because of this quote unquote near death experience that Ty has had, she is now the talk of the school. And
Did you hear that
Cher's,
Ty almost got shot at the mall
yeah, Cher's very confused at like
by gang members?
at why Ty is her personality has now changed. She's blowing off Travis. She's like wanting to go shopping with Dee. Calls Travis a slacker. She's like becoming mean, like a mean girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that
like Dion and Cher were never mean.
yeah. Well, and I love that Cher, like, I would be so annoyed if I was Cher too, because she's like, I got held up at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And like everyone's just like, yeah, whatever. We have the driver's test with the Messiah of the DMV. But before we get there, we have one of my other favorite lines, which is, "Where's my white collarless shirt from Fred Siegel?" So she's asking Lucy, the maid, where it is, and also asks if Lucy can talk to their gardener.
Because she speaks Mexican.
And she's like, "He your gardener? I don't know why. Like, you don't ask him." You know, I don't speak Mexican. One of my favorite lines in the movie that my mom and I, well, at least I quote to my mom all the time is, "I not a Mexican."
I love when Josh is like, she's from El Salvador, and she goes, and he goes, they're completely different countries.
Mm-hmm. Lucy also seemed mad, like too mad, like maybe she hates Mexicans low key.
A little racist.
She seemed mad that she was like being called a Mexican. Not that it was the wrong like country, but she said, "I fucking hate Mexicans. Don't call me that."
Oh my god, get those Mexicans off my
No,
street.
I
I'm not
choose-
walking next to them.
I choose to believe that Lucy is a queen and she's not a Mexican hater. But Cher ends up failing the driver's test, and when she gets back, Ty has she has her box of stuff to burn. She wants to get over Elton because there's a new boy that she likes, and it's Josh.
I love when she wants to burn the cassette, and then Cher's like, no, don't burn that.
Mm-hmm. And Cher is not knowing at this point why she doesn't want them together, but she's like, "But like, do you even think you'd be good together? Like, he's in college, like he's really smart." And she's like, "What? I'm dumb."
She's
And then
jumping.
She, because Ty has become this mean person now, she says, "You're a virgin who can't drive." That
Damn.
was way harsh, Ty. By the way, my Twitter bio is and has been for years virgin who can drive. Thank you
You
very
changed
much.
it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, can you? Because you got in a car crash, so.
Doesn't mean I can't drive. I still can.
I can't drive well.
Um, and then we have Cher taking a walk and being like, "Why do I care so much?" And she realizes that she loves Josh. I
And,
love Josh.
and she realizes that she has to do a makeover of her
Of her
soul.
soul. You won't make over my soul.
You
It's a
won't
remix.
make my soul. Yeah.
So now she doesn't know how to act around Josh. She's feeling down on herself. And I love her dad cheering her up and saying, like, you do a lot for other people. Like, you take care of me. Like, look at all this stuff you do. But you're
You
right. Like,
do a lot.
she still wants to make over her soul. I love that she looks to her friends to be like, what are their qualities that I like? You know, Christian wants everything to be beautiful. He loves art. Dee and Murray, like, really take care of each other.
When no one's around, that they actually really do, or they are compassionate.
Yes. Miss Geist wanting to help the environment and everything. She's like, I'm gonna do this. So she's signing up for the Pismo Beach Disaster Relief Fund. She's running the
Daddy, you never liked that red caviar, right?
she's running the donation booth, where Travis comes in and says he's in a 12-step program and he donates his bongs.
Iconic.
And he invites her to his skateboarding event where Ty is also there, and Cher and Ty apologize to each other and make up. And Ty's
She
crush
realizes that Ty
returns.
and Travis are good.
Yeah, her crush on Travis returns. Then at the very end, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I love throughout the movie we see Cher's outfits go from like super fancy to like super plain, just based on like her mood, like how she thinks of herself as like her fashion is really high, but then as it progresses, it gets more like mellow.
Because she's focused more on the internal.
And then towards the end, she gets more into casual wear.
Yes. And also, I think there's like 63 costume changes in this movie. There's a video where there's just like every costume change. Great work again, Mona May and Icon. There's also interviews with Mona May if you want to look those up, of just her talking about working on this movie.
Fashion.
Yes. And then at the end of the movie, we have this dick of a coworker, of the dad's coworker, who gets mad at Cher
for doing
making a
nothing
mistake.
wrong.
She was helping for free. Like, why
girl,
would you yell at her like this?
Also, she's 16.
Yes, this guy's yelling at her. Josh is like, dude, she didn't mean any harm. And the guy's like, well, maybe if you two weren't playing footsie, she wouldn't even fucking be making mistakes and shit. And he's like, what?
Also, like, dude, it's not, she just put them in different piles, organized piles. Like, what does it matter? Also, he goes, I'm out of here. I'm calling in sick. Like, you're making the situation worse.
I hope that man got fired the next day.
I hope he got shot.
I'm sure he did, because I'm sure Josh and Cher told the dad, and the dad was like, oh, no.
I think the fuck not, yeah.
Yeah. But so Cher is very upset about this, you know, crying, and Josh is like, oh, like don't listen to him. Like, you're great, and like you and Mel care about me and everything, blah blah blah. They kiss, you know, you've seen it.
Yes.
They kiss, and then Cher says, you know what happens next? And it's the wedding scene. But it's not them getting married, it's Miss Geist and Mr. Hall.
She goes,
faked out.
She goes, ew, as if, basically. And then she goes, I'm 16, and this isn't Kentucky.
Yes. Also, the guy who's marrying them, the like officiant or whatever you call that, came to ASU and talked.
Slay.
Because I think he wrote the book for Jaws. He's involved with Jaws somehow. His name is Carl Gottlieb, and he came to ASU, and I so badly wanted to go up to him and be like, you're the guy who in Clueless.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But
You should have been like, I don't give a shit about your book. You're the guy in Clueless.
I don't, big shark, what a baby shark, whatever, but like you were in Clueless. And that's a big deal.
How was that?
Yes. So the wedding happens. We see, you know, all the kids are at the wedding. Very cute. Bouquet throw. Everyone's fighting over it. Amy Heckerling, the director, is in here also. She's fighting over the bouquet as well. I love Lucy trying to get it too. I kind of wish she got it. A win for Lucy.
No, because she goes, what does he say? They make a bet, and then that's when she goes, I got this.
So yes, she grabs the bouquet because Josh said that whoever gets it gets $200 basically. And Josh and Cher kiss, and they live happily ever after as Tenderness by General Public plays.
Very cute.
Where is it? And now you're gonna read some IMDb reviews very quickly.
Very, very quickly.
IMDb.
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 I picked two. I might summarize them. One is called Better Than Never. Considering how long removed I am from both the 90s and high school, there's something entirely relatable about Clueless. And I'm as surprised as anyone. Alicia Silverstone is beyond charming, and there's plenty of humor in the supporting cast as well. In particular, the late Brittany Murphy. Incandescent in her own right. I don't know. Sure. But the dialogue really put me back to the high school mindset. And I think this movie strikes a nice balance between satire and teen fluff. Like Mean Girls, this is a movie that I've dismissed over the years, fake bitch, for being shallow. And for the life of me, I can't explain why. This is good stuff. Maybe grow up.
This is good stuff.
This was written May last year. So a year ago. This one is from 2005. My brief review of the film. Perfect. A generally quite well made in girl, too many adjectives. A generally quite well made, enjoyably stylish, and interesting matchmaking tale amid a teen audience. The film manages to incorporate a number of very clever parallels to Emma, while also providing a good satire of high school life. The idea is somewhat simplistic. The plot is sort of predictable, and the young performers all look too old for their teen characters. I disagree. But these are all minor vices amongst the strong entry for the teen flicks genre. This is surprisingly very realistic, and I actually almost heartfelt performance by Alicia Silverstone at the top of it all. The review below it just says, "This surpasses time. It's nothing short of brilliant."
It is nothing short of brilliant. We have a couple tweets that came in. Lindsay and Aisa both raving about the movie, and also just the sentiment that rest in peace, Brittany Murphy. And I think we can all agree on that. She's very missed. And Emily sent in her Halloween photo of her and her friends dressed as the cast of Clueless for 1 year. So that's fun. We love you. This is a beloved movie, obviously. Juan, what are your final thoughts?
I fucking love this movie. Honestly, it's perfect. I don't care that it has the R word. Like, it's of its time.
That's
and it's
like
only
the only bad thing, and it's such a small.
Exactly.
It's only the one time.
And it's not used like as
she was calling
insult.
herself it as well.
Yeah, it's not like being like, "Oh, you're so this." It's just like, "Hey, I was being dumb."
Well, and I think Ty later says, "I'm such a tard," but it's not as I don't know.
Again, it's the lingo of the
really,
time.
Yeah,
it's the lingo of the time. So
Age is
honestly,
better than a lot of other movies of its time.
Exactly. Like, they're not calling each other that as an insult is the thing. Honestly, fucking perfect. I don't know what I gave Mean Girls. I don't know what I gave a couple of these movies because I never keep track. But honestly, 5 out of 5. Like, this is such a great movie. Nothing wrong with it.
5 out of 5 stars. One of my favorite movies ever. It's a classic for a reason. It's very good. Yeah, let's give a shout out to the one, the only. This
is our podcast artist. I'm so sorry. She does all our artwork, minus some pieces that we have done by another wonderful friend of ours. But you can follow Iris on Instagram and Twitter at Creamsicle Panda. Thank you so much. Give her a follow.
Yes, love. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr at Planet Weird Pod. Rate and review the show wherever you're listening. Buy some merch. Links in the description, obviously. And support us on Patreon if you'd like. We got bonus stuff over there. Proud Family episodes this month. You get it. Patreon, $5 and up. Shout outs today are Grace Worspan, Shelby Deacon, Emily Palmer, Jared Van Leeuwen, Enrique Buenrostro, Jose Contreras Jr., Lindsay Britt, Natalie Hernandez, Aisu Yusuf, Fiona Hart, Kelly, and Ivy Geist. I had one. Next for Mona May, we'll be talking about Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, which is available on Paramount Plus if you have that. So send us your thoughts on that. But thank you for indulging us in this 300th episode. Happy 300, Juan.
Happy 300, Sarah. Kiss. Mwah.
I'm gonna be a supermodel.